Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute, in conjunction with Barker Honda.
I'm going to have Coach Rebowe come up and say a few words, but I just want to say again, thank you to everybody who came out and watched to figure out where we're going to whoop another person's butt.
So again, appreciate all the support, everybody, all throughout the season. It's been fantastic. Big win on Thursday night. The trophy is home. I know you guys appreciate it. We're definitely excited about the playoffs, and I know the team, the sentiment is the same thing. We're in. It doesn't matter where we go. It doesn't matter who we play. We play here. We play on the road. It doesn't matter. We're just excited to be in, and we're going to give it the best shot. You guys know that.
And for most of the season, there's a reason why they make out the at-large.
Colonels in Louisiana are excited. The Southland champs, their first conference championship in 4 years. They played TCU, Sacramento State, set themselves up well for conference play. Finished 6-4. And quarterback Pat McQuaid and company will take on the Southern Illinois Salukis, another team out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Head coach Nick Hill finds a way in.
Yeah, this is an interesting first-round matchup. As you said, Nicholls gets that conference championship ready to go in Southern Illinois. You just mentioned it, Matt. Missouri Valley Conference, the deepest. Salukis get in there. Quarterback Nick Baker is a 2,000-yard passer. This is a defense, and I know we always look at the offensive stats, but you see the turnovers forced by both, which is phenomenal.
Going to an automatic qualifier, you know you're in, but still just talking about the anticipation, looking at that board and waiting for where you're going to go.
Yeah, it was a little bit easier yesterday watching ball games, knowing that you're in, and just the anticipation about where you're going to go. And I think the guys took the approach, hey, if we got a home game, great. If we didn't, we were in. I think it's going to be a good matchup.
And tell me about going against Southern Illinois.
Yeah, just initially, I mean, looking at their record and knowing a little bit, doing a little research yesterday, possibly looking at some of the teams that might get in and where you might go. I know they got a good ball club. They won a big-time game yesterday to put them in by convincing. They beat Indiana State. So it should be good. Exciting. We get to go on the road. We get to travel, and looking forward to it next weekend.
And just talk about where you are in the bracket in terms of, like, you get a number 4 if you advance, as opposed
I mean,
to
look,
2 or whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't look that far ahead. You know what I'm saying? You kind of look at it and just say, hey, you're just happy to be in. Let's take it one game at a time, and we'll deal with that next week.
And this is a team that's been here and done that before. They're a perennial good team, kind of. Can you talk about the way they've been able to do that?
Can
you talk about how you compete against a team that's been there before?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we knew this. It didn't matter. You were going to get a good team. There's 24 teams left that's going to be playing. 8 of them had the top seed. So it didn't matter who you were going to get. You were going to get a good football team that deserved to be in and deserved to be playing the next weekend.
But you have a couple of seniors left on this team from that 2019 unit that was able to get to the second round of the FCS. How much will you be leaning on them to help guide the experience?
Yeah, we did throughout the season. I think there's 7 or 8 guys that we took that played in 2019. We actually had one that played in 2018. So he's been around a while. But, it goes back a little too far back then. Experience from this year is what we're going to draw on, having to go on the road, win some games against some tough opponents.
And the momentum that this team has drawn, I mean, the first year since you joined the South, that you've gone undefeated in the conference. How much has that conference slate boosted the confidence of this team?
Well, I think it's important because in the past, and you're talking about those years past, we had to win on that last week to be able to get in and see where you're going to go. And it was a little bit easier knowing that you're in and you're just waiting to see where you go. But our conference was tough, and we had to go on the road, win some tough games. We had to win some tough games at home. And I think our non-conference schedule set us up for where we are today.
And that one player that's been here since 2018 is David Robinson, right?
Correct, David Robinson.
And he's had one of his best seasons this year. Can you kind of talk about how he's developed?
Yeah, just the growth and the maturity. It was his time. He's always worked hard. Just think the ball never found him. It's found him. It doesn't matter where Pat's throwing it right now. He's going to go up and get it. So he's been a big leader for us this year on the offensive side of the ball.
Speaking on the offensive side, one of the best standouts this year has been, of course, your running back, Jalen. The way he's been dominating and having back-to-back career highs on the back end of the season. How dynamic does does he make this offense?
Yeah, you know, we've missed that the last couple of years, having a guy that could be the difference maker, the guy that can give you the big explosive. And we've been good running the football over the past couple of years, but, you know, with Colin Guggenheim and now Jalen Spears, that 1-2 punch, offensive line has been doing a tremendous job. And then it helps Pat McQuaid, the quarterback, in the passing game when you can be able to run the football. But been a real pleasure that he's having a great breakout year.
And this team had the second hardest schedule in all of college football. Can you just talk about the way they were able to overcome those first few games against really good teams?
Yeah, I think it prepared us for the future. The team stuck together. I talk about it all the time. Those guys in the locker room that did it, you know, they stayed together. They knew we had a good team. They knew we were going to be okay. We just had to stick to the course and get into conference, and they did that. They didn't get down. They went out to practice every day and worked, and we took it. We had the true one-game mentality approach that led us to this point.